Hello and welcome back to our two Sicilies into Italy, into... I don't know where we'll go. Anyway, you are taking a look at the grand eternal city of Rome, and who is this? Louis Napoleon Bonaparte? He is an agitator in Italy right now. He is working to enact interventionism. I have also went ahead and made him a general as you know, he can fight for me. He has the experienced political operator trait. So, as an agitator, that gives plus 5% interest group political strength to the petite bourgeoisie. Yeah, that's fine. He is ambitious. Who knows? Maybe he will be the next ruler of Italy. We will have to see. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and unpause and let's keep going. I am trying to clear up some of our economic woes. We are trying to enact interventionism. We are, in a way, liberalizing a little bit. Now, we got to be careful because we are an absolute monarchy. We are an empire, after all. Students embracing the aesthetic and attitude of nihilism have become more and more common at Sicily University. I wonder what their mascot is. The numerous parties have raised concerns about radicalism in academia. We have two options. The only education these people deserve is from the School of Hard Knocks. Ouch. Or this is a matter for university authorities. I think I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one because I don't want to hurt university throughput, that's for sure. Dynamite is unlocked, so we're going to have to take a look at some of our production methods. I'll do that in just a second. But first, let's take a look at some of the new technology, or what it might be the next technology we go for, and I would like to go for steel frame buildings, although I don't really know if there's much of a point in that. I could go ahead and finish up quinning real fast. We have been doing some colonizing. Our ruler does have a colonizing trait, which is the whole reason why we've decided to do that, as it is kind of a role-playing campaign. I think for now it might be good to... I mean, we're not really building... I would love to go reinforced concrete, but we're not really building anything because, well, we don't have the money. I could make our steel mills more efficient. That would be good to have before steel frame buildings, that's for sure. I think, though, I might go with fertilizer or joint stock companies. I'm going to go with joint stock companies. I actually think the minus 10 to the urbanization is going to help me quite a bit. It looks like Austria and Germany have declared each other rivals. I very much like that because I do want to fight. Oh, and Austria has unfortunately ended their rivalry with France. Now, does France still owe me an obligation? Owed an obligation from France. Now, I don't have a truce with Austria anymore. My economy's not doing so great. Maybe I should have gone with a military technology, as it would be nice to have a small technological advantage over the Austrians. I'm definitely looking to go to war with Austria again soon. I don't know if it will be in this episode, however, but I do want the northern Italian states. Unholy activities, an event in Lazio. A group of nihilist students have carried out an obscene and outlandish protest in front of a Catholic church, prompting demands by the Catholic Church to halt the activities by force, track down everyone involved and charge them with blasphemy. Or how do they expect us to identify the perpetrators? That will make the upper strata. You know what? I am going to, yeah, this is an unacceptable display. We've let this nihilism go on long enough. Maybe that'll increase some radicalism. I don't know, maybe we might even have a revolt, which might be interesting. Austria have begun embargoing us. Interventionalism has successfully passed. I think passing some of these economic laws is really what we're missing in terms of not only moving Italy into the modern era, but also helping get our economy going. All right, Errico Maltesta has appeared in Italy, and he's going to join a movement to enact total separation. Wouldn't necessarily hate enacting a total separation of church and state. But hold on, let me finish interventionalism first. Yeah, laws is something I have kind of neglected. I should have been making use of my agitators a little bit earlier to try to bring some people in who could perhaps at least help out my economic situation. I do think I do want to continue building universities. I do want to continue building industry. My economy is doing better, but honestly, what I feel like I really need to do is actually start reducing the amount of taxes. A deficit of respect. A woman affiliated with the aristocrats of the landowners has angrily reported an incident of a group of students refusing to stand aside for her on the side of the road and teasing her. Okay, now these students have gone too far. How far can these nihilist depravity go? Or hardly a matter for the legal system. Now, I do think that while this is incredibly disrespectful, this is hardly a matter for the legal system. I'm not going to punish just some kids for teasing a woman. That's a little ridiculous, even for our strong absolute monarchy. We have a new event without a clause. Armed forces and rural folk are split over the semantics of a clause regarding interventionalism. Corradino has published articles designed to drag the public into this bickering. So I could favor the armed forces, I can favor the rural folk, or I can bring him to account for encouraging this kind of behavior. I don't want to hurt interventionalism. I'm going to say favor the armed forces, which has given me armed forces patriotic fervor activated, plus 10% offense and defense. That could be useful in any future wars. Just saying. Our literacy really is starting to skyrocket. You can see we are beginning to catch up and even surpass places like Austria. Now, look at Germany. Wow. Germany and Great Britain, even France is seemingly even Spain is seemingly pretty literate compared to places like France. I really do think France has struggled because of the just sheer amount of revolutions they have had in this playthrough, which honestly seems like it would be a ton of fun. Ooh, booming industries was successfully completed. Let's take a look at what that means. We can get plus 33% fertilizer building 3 point. Perfect. We have now enacted interventionalism, and I have gotten an achievement. I'll have to see what that is in a minute. Interventionalism, perfect. We can subsidize all. Yeah, great. We should try and support both parties. So the industrial boom, we have several events. I think giving the industrial sector... Yeah, let's give it the industrial sector. I mean, obviously the munition plant throughput would be good, but industrial sector priority is probably the higher priority at the moment. Untrained hands, children working in furniture manufactories in... All right, wow. We do have child labor. We're, as I said, kind of relatively backwards, but children working in the furniture manufactories in Emilia have suffered injuries trying to operate the machinery, probably because of their tiny little hands. That's sad. After examining the boy's hands, the doctor sat back down, turned to the mother and sighed deeply. Well, I'm afraid your son is never going to become a great musician. That's unfortunate. But then again, perhaps that was never one of his likely prospects. No, it probably was not. we can either keep children off the factory floor, in which case they lose 10% dependence income, or we can say these new industries need all the employees they can get. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. We do have a movement forming to change from state religion to total separation. Now, it does seem that that will struggle to pass, but I certainly could be interested. Let's take a look. At our agitators. I would love to pass. Honestly, I would love to go down to like appointed bureaucrats. I do have a bureaucracy problem right now. I would also like to do National Guard. That will give me significantly more conscriptable battalions. I'm going to go ahead and do National Guard. I think that'll help. We're kind of hitting that point where I'm able to lower the taxes. Let's just keep lowering the taxes, even though I'm not necessarily building a whole lot at this point. Thankfully, with the passage of interventionism, our economy is looking better. I do think that it might be time to start building some government administration. We are losing 7% in tax waste. I wonder where specifically we're losing that from. Looks like I need to build some government administration in Piedmont. I'm going to go ahead and queue up 3 in Piedmont, and let's just do 1 in Tuscany, and we will do 2 in Calabria. Now, we are going to lose a lot of money doing this, but it is what it is. We get rising concerns. The petite bourgeoisie have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the industrialists. Yeah, I'm going to keep favoring the industrialists. Also, Quinning has unlocked. Let's just take a look at our potential colonization. We could establish some more colonies. Now, just a reminder, this is what our current Italian colony looks like. Now, if we did decide we could... You know what? I'll establish a colony in the Congo. We'll fight Great Britain for the Congo. I'll also establish a colony more inland. We'll go here as well. Now, would I like to establish a colony in southern Africa? No. I think that's fine. Let's keep our colonial growth featured right here. We are really not doing much in our colonies. Let's take a look. Yeah, we are getting our dye from our colony. So that is at least something. In fact, we could actually probably build some more dye plantations. I'm just not doing so because of our lack of funds. Repeaters has unlocked. Speaking of, that does mean I do need to go through and just take a look at some of our PMs, especially in the rural sector. Let's go ahead and move to slaughterhouses. Coal mines, let's go to dynamite. That is going to mean that we need more explosives factories. Okay, so here's where that spiral kind of hits. We have some explosive factories in Sicily. I'm going to go ahead and go to vacuum evaporation to give us just flat out more explosives. That's going to mean that I need more of all of these input goods, fertilizer, everything. My sulfur, how's my sulfur doing? Am I running a deficit? No, so I have plenty of sulfur because I'm also trading a lot of sulfur away. And I can cancel quite a bit of sulfur exports if I so desired. I am going to go ahead and do that. I think I should probably just... I'll focus on the coal mines for now. Let's go ahead and bring our coal mines into dynamite as well as our iron mines. That's going to hurt us economically in the short term, but I think in the long term, it will help us significantly. Looks like, who is this wanting the Japanese shogunate wants a defensive pact with us. I'm unfortunately going to decline that. I don't have any interest in getting into any wars over here in the Far East. The rise of the communist regime in the Ionian proletariat revolt has spurred a sense of terror and mistrust across Italian society. Many fear Italy will be the next to fall to communism. So I could say it could happen here. We get some extra loyalist, or we get minus 20% interest group political strength to the trade unions, or a panic would be wholly unwarranted. I think I'm going to go with a... I'm going to say a panic will be wholly unwarranted. Just because I don't think the Ionian Island communist state is actually going to spread communism to me. In fact, we'll see if they even are able to spread it in the Ionian Islands. It's interesting that is where communism took hold. We'll see if the French Commune arises. Following government hearings into the activities of the communist regime and the Ionian proletariat revolt in newspapers across Italy, have reported sensational stories about all adult women in the Ionian proletariat revolt being nationalized as common property. Well, that seems highly suspect, but we could also say the communists are going for our women. I'm gonna say just because I think it's fun. The communists are coming for our women, but I do think that report is perhaps a little suspect. More pragmatically inclined members of the intelligentsia currently opposed to the passing of National Guard have offered to change their stance where they offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be popular with the petite bourgeoisie. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that to try to get that law passed. Joint stock companies has passed. That's excellent news. We can have another company, although I'm not sure if my current company is all that successful at the moment. I am looking to go to war relatively soon with the Austrians again, perhaps an enlistment office to just really churn out conscriptable battalions would be good, plus I could pass mass conscription. But I do think breech-loading artillery, unlocking shrapnel artillery is going to be the way to go. So we're going to look to get shrapnel artillery, and then I think we are going to look to, of course, we'll have some work that needs to be done. We will need to construct probably more artillery factories, as well as more artillery units. But I think maybe shrapnel artillery will be what puts us over the edge when it comes to fighting against the Austrians. Speaking of, it would be good to get some additional fertilizer plant building throughput, or I could get more infrastructure. I'm going to go with establish the Italian mineral conglomerate. I also will look to expand my armed forces. Now, what does the Navy in Austria look like? They're the rival. Alright, so I do think I could probably take on the Austrian Navy with my 45 ships. Uh-oh, we have a crooked connections, frustrated with the lengthy legal process surrounding National Guard. A member of the petite bourgeoisie has approached us with an offer to expedite the process. I think we will go ahead and, yeah, grant him permission. Let's expedite this process, shall we? Alright, we have fixed our bureaucracy problem so we don't have as much tax waste. And then, once again, I'm going to kind of let our... Now that we have much more investment, thanks to interventionalism in the private sector, our private sector is actually building quite a lot for us. So that I'm not as worried about needing to continually build as I was before. I also am very excited that I've been able to lower taxes a little bit. National Guard has unfortunately fared poorly. Uh-oh, taxes and torches. In the dead of night, a group of nihilists have committed arson against the government administration in Tuscany, leading to it be severely damaged by the fire. We can either say that perpetrators will rebuild what they destroy in prison, so I'll lose some bureaucracy for 2 years, and I will also lose government administration throughput, or I can say the classrooms will be shuttered until building is restored. Alright, I don't really want to... I think I'm going to say the perpetrators, yeah. Oh, and thankfully, because I've been building a lot of bureaucracy buildings lately, and those government administration buildings, I am not running as much of a deficit as I feared I would. Chaos in the courtyard. Oh, we have steel railway cars unlocked, good. In visiting Campania University, Coronado Varanzia has stirred up an impressive crowd of students and disrupted the activities of several people affiliated with the Catholic Church. The performer of this soapbox turned the attention to several unlucky souls in clothing of the upper class and stretched out his arms. See them as they walk by, those agents of nefarious superstition. All right. I could say enough of this nonsense, break up the demonstration. Once again, losing university throughput for 5 years. Don't really want that. Or we cannot deny that it was a good show. I think I'm going to have to say enough of this nonsense. Now, if I was min-maxing a little bit, I don't think I would have done that, because I didn't really want to lose university throughput, but considering that we are the Grand Emperor of Italy, I think that he has probably had enough. How are the Ionian communists doing? The communist Ionian Islands, they are belligerent towards us. I wonder why. Because they view us as a threatening neighbor. Also because they want to conquer states owned by us. Alright. The revolution must spread, right? Playwright endorses popular revolt. Now, we already have quite a bit of prestige. Will 20 prestige really help us that much? Or we can say the National Guard will be on everyone's lips and we can get some more... Alright, so here's where I think the prestige will actually help us. If we take a look, I don't want to be passed by Spain, and Spain is 1 prestige point behind us, so I'm going to go ahead and get some additional prestige. There we go. I'm also going to go ahead and build some more regular army soldiers. Let's go ahead and build four more infantry, and then I'll do 1 more artillery for now. Those will build really quickly. The white immigrants, a stream of wealthy Greek immigrants immigrants fleeing the communist regime in communist Ionian Islands have sought shelter in Italy, bringing with them tales of revolutionary terror and unbridled proletariat excess. I just think it's so funny that communism started in the Ionian Islands, not in Russia, or Germany, or France, or Italy, and instead in the Ionian Islands. So it's a tragic procession. So we're going to get some migration attraction, and unfortunately, fortunately for us, we'll get also minus 25% Council Republic support. Grassroots support for the law. All right. The political wills and desires of the lower class will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for the National Guard has spread like wildfire across Italy. Hey, that's good. Let's go ahead and... Oh, wow. 20% lower strata pops in Piedmont become loyalists. I'm actually not super worried about that. I already have a ton of loyalists, so I'm just going to say public desire for the reform. Alright, our barracks have finished building. That is good news. Oh, and I believe that this is our obligation going away. So with that said, we have our new barracks. I think it might be time to try to return states again. Now, I'm not going to make the same mistake that I made last time and just immediately ask for everything, because I ran out of influence and I was unable to ask France to come in and help me. It has also been a hot second since we have had the, 73rd French Revolution of this playthrough, so I think hopefully France is a little bit more stable at the moment and they will be able to help me. I specifically want Milan, and then let's play a little bit to get that going. And I also, so I want to make sure that I don't spend too many maneuvers. That's what it was. So I'm going to go ahead and add a war goal. And that war goal is going to be return state Venice. And then, and I'm going to hold off here until I can get some allies and see what I can do after that. I might have to put my taxes back up at max. I was really hoping to finish National Guard before this so that I had more conscriptable battalions. I do wonder how many conscriptable battalions the Austrians have at their fingertips. Now, while it's saving, my game stutters quite significantly. Alright, yeah, no, they outnumber us significantly. Let's just say, significantly. Anyway, we're hoping to have France and ideally Germany join our play as well. So let's go ahead and try to... Of course, France doesn't want to join this. What do you mean, undecided? We have an obligation. I'm going to ask them. They're going to say no, and that's going to be that. Alright, France, go ahead and turn me down quickly so that I can ask Germany for help. Alright, Brazil sided with Austria. That's not great. Oh, Germany will join if I sway Brazil to ban slavery. I mean, that could be good, but I think I will do the humiliation of Austria. Alright, Germany sided with us. That is going to be hugely helpful. And then France, what are you doing? Oh, I can, if I give away some of my land, Lucia or Lucia or how will join. That's not worth it. Let's just say I'm angry with France for not honoring our obligation. I do think, though, that the combined might of the Italian... Now, we don't have shrapnel artillery. We also don't have a National Guard. We are doing this earlier than we wanted to because we thought we were going to get the obligation from France, or that the obligation from France would help us. However, obviously, sometimes things don't work out. The French Republic have begun embargoing Italy. What is happening? Alright, France, just don't join Austria. You can embargo us, don't join Austria. France has been our friend for a long time. Anyway, a particularly prominent figure within the intelligentsia has issued a absolutely scathing accusation of communist infiltration in the Italian press and government itself. We can either call those accused for an investigatory committee, or he should provide some evidence for these claims. No, call those accused. We seem to be going through our own very real Red Scare. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to have to wrap it up here. I usually like to go 30 minutes. It's been about a half an hour. In our next episode, we will probably be going to war with Austria again. Hopefully, our German allies, whose armies are set up in a very interesting way, but hopefully our German allies will be available to help us defeat Austria and retake some of our land back. I don't think we're going to get any other help, so I might as well just go ahead and potentially add another war goal. What would be awesome would be some war reps, specifically from Austria. I'm going to do it. We'll add war reps, see what happens. Looks like Austria is willing to... Okay. They are really just looking to humiliate us. So if we back down now, we would just be humiliated. We would lose a bunch of prestige. We couldn't declare war on them for a while. But no, I think we're going to try to fight this. Anyway, we will see in the next episode. I'm Ben the Bold, you've been you, and I hope you join me on the next one.